Welcome to another episode of Boxed In. This is our argument show. Because we're all quarantined, you have nothing else better to do. I am Terez Paylor, and I will be serving as commissioner for a fantasy draft we're about to conduct of the hit Netflix show, Tiger King. And I've got two head coaches here, and our own Mike Oz and Matt Harmon. Matt and Mike will be building the best football team possible from an unusually ridiculous cast of characters. We're gonna be going in a snake draft, and each guy will be making 3 total picks. All right, we flipped a coin backstage, and the first pick will go to Harmon.
Boo. Fix is in.
I'm ruling on this at the end, so we'll see. Take it away, Harmon. Who's your first pick?
I got to be honest, this is the first fantasy draft ever. I think I didn't want the first overall pick because I was trying to hone in on Oz's strategy because this is, it's very open-ended here. But honestly, since this is, more of a football type exercise, who's going to be on the actual team, I'm going to go with Joe Exotic's maybe not first husband, one of his many husbands, John Finlay here. Look, does he have all of the measurables? Maybe not, but I think he's got the intangibles here. I think he's a glue guy in the locker room, someone that pretty much everybody can rally around. Look, he didn't necessarily suss out exactly what was going on with Joe until much later. But remember, he got out of this situation. So I trust him as a guy who can be a leader in the locker room and really kind of that everyman. Do I need him to run out in the slot? He can do that. Do I need him to play a little H-back? He can do that. Do I need him to be my third down back? I think he's a movable chess piece around the board here.
No, man,
he also has teeth you could kick a field goal through.
Exactly.
So that's good.
And let's really hone in on the teeth here. You mentioned the intangibles, some of the character. Any concerns about his off-field activities, rumors of drug use, that type of deal, Harmon? How do you think that affect the locker room?
I mean, look, if we're talking about off-field issues here, there's a litany of ways we can go. Like, what?
Whole league is suspended by game 1, guys. Whole league is just banned for life.
Right? I mean, this is really like, do you want to come in here and take? I got some. I'll admit that I got some advice. From a few people. One of them said to take Jeff Lowe first overall. This guy, what are you running the mid 2000s Bengals? This is, you're going to ruin your locker room chemistry in a minute. Of all of these guys, I think John Finlay here, he's got baggage, no doubt, but I think he's moved a little bit beyond the baggage here.
Okay, Oz, you have an opportunity here with the second overall pick in the Tiger King fantasy draft. Who do you select?
And I got sandwich picks, right? So I'm 2 in a row. Yep. I was lying at the beginning. This is exactly where I want to be. I want to get 2 guys off the board, especially because Matt didn't take anybody I wanted. So I'm loving it.
Great.
My signals already.
My number one overall pick is here for me. Joe's other husband, Travis Maldonado. R.I.P. Travis, first of all. But if you look at him,
great pick.
6'4", athletic, fearless, will do anything. He has a real Gronk energy about him. I mean, it's obvious. I think this is a caveat for every single person on the show. If he wasn't on meth, I think he would be greatly athletic, right? I could slot him in easily as a tight end or receiver. I think I'd be thrilled about that. He can make plays. Again, I don't think he's not going to overthink anything. You point him in the direction and say go, and he's going to go. So it's maybe Gronk meets Bobby Boucher, right? It's a little bit of those two things. But again, I'm looking at, if we're imagining these people as athletes, the thing that sticks out to me about him, 6'4", big and athletic, young. If his life had gone a different way, he was a tight end prospect going to play at USC or something.
Travis Maldonado is clearly the best athlete on the board. He was clearly the best athlete of this entire group. I do think coaching is going to matter significantly here, Oz. So I hope you have a very good plan for him.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
you're gonna have a Plaxico Burress situation on your hands, my friend. I don't know. It's a lot of gun issues.
Are there any coaches amongst this group? I don't know, but I think that brings me to my next pick, and I've gone back and forth on what do you do with Joe Exotic, right?
Yeah.
Do you just completely forget him? Or do you bring him in? And to me, I'm bringing him in at number 3.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things wrong with Joe. I mean, anybody who watched the show, there's a lot of things wrong with Joe. But the number one thing that Joe was great at was leadership.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to win. He can get people to follow him. Like, if you are in his circle, you believe in Joe. He's a guy, you put him in a huddle. I think he will lead those men to somewhere resembling victory. Maybe not all, 100% victory. You might lead them to jail or, a night, in Mexico or something. But I think he is a leader. People will follow him. If I'm imagining him on the field, like, I have a real, like, kind of Brett Favre thing with him, like, I feel like he can get stuff done, kind of a gunslinger, probably going to throw some interceptions, and you just kind of got to let that go. But I think he's a leader.
I think Joe Exotic, you're basically gunning for him having a little bit of a Jerry Glanville-like effect on this team as a coach. He's going to say some wild shit, like, that's going to happen. But, he's going to let people kind of be who they are. And put it this way, up until Carol Baskin showed up, the zoo seemed to be running okay. I get where you're going with this, Oz. And you also have to add this, too. There's a real level of amusement to this guy that Joe Exotic's going to bring. I think Joe Exotic's going to pack the stands. You
were going to sell tickets with Joe. Travis is going to listen to Joe. So if Joe is his coach or Joe is his quarterback or however we're dreaming up that relationship, if we're doing a, kind of coach player type thing, I think that works. I think if you, at the end of it, I mean, Travis, I think, sort of started to maybe lose a little bit of the faith in Joe, but I think Joe can bring him back. Joe can, again, Joe's a leader. Joe can get all these people behind him. I'm in.
You also have to understand that Joe's a planner as well. When Saf had his arm mauled by the tiger, Joe actually had a medical jacket on hand ready to put on. He had it ready. He had it ready to go. So there's a matter of planning he's bringing to the mix.
He's a showboater.
He also, I mean, country singer.
Singer.
All these various jobs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Joe is the kind of guy that if we're in this situation, if we need him to, he will sell tickets in the box office. He will be the coach. He will sell hot dogs in the stands. He will do any job, and he can balance them all.
Absolutely.
There's some value there.
You just brought AB on your team, man. That's what the Raiders are like. He'll sell tickets down there in Vegas, no problem. He'll be the flashy guy up on the billboard. And also, by the way, Tiger had that guy by the knee. I think he might flunk the physical here at this point. I don't know. I don't know about that pick. And again,
well, they're all failing their drug tests, so
True.
like
100%.
We're good.
True.
This is the XFL for real. Like, this is just no drug test, no nothing. You're just going out there and playing. Harmon, you got a tough choice here, man. How you gonna respond? What do you got here with pick number 4?
All right, next pick here. Look, I got sort of a utility character guy that I can count on. Someone that I think can play, those quick twitch slot receiver positions, the third down back in John Finlay. But this next pick, you got to build in the trenches. You got to get one of your big guys. And there I'm going James Garrettson. And look, at the same time, I mean, this is obviously building in the trenches. Maybe he's my offensive lineman, my defensive lineman, but you can't discount the fact that, yes, did he have to maybe snitch to do it? Sure. But again, I want guys that are not going to be, spending the rest of my season in jail. And I think, number one, James Garrettson, by the way, like, he's not only is he not in jail, he's also like an iconic meme coming out of this show. And I think he can help me maybe get some publicity out there on social media. Maybe the type of guy who, look, we make the jet ski gif of him coming in here with the team logo. I don't know, something like that. I think there's marketability with this guy, the same amount of poison, stolen Hummers, whatever. I don't care. I think he can help me build in the trenches a little.
One thing I'll say about Garrettson is that, boy, he sure does seem like Mark Davis's spirit animal with the haircut. There's a real level of football that he's kind of bringing just by looking through osmosis, just by looking like the Raiders owner. I get what you're going. I get where you're going there. He also, you know what? James Garrettson also brings a real survival instinct, right? He finds a way to make things okay for himself in the trenches. I'm still looking for a dynamic playmaker from you.
Matt, are you concerned, though, if you just give him $20 that he'll just lay down and throw the game? Like, if I were just like, here, James, here's $20. Like, just let us win today, that he would take that?
It wouldn't even take that much, dude.
Yeah, I'm hoping that if, look, again, marketability here, I'm hoping he helps that sort of campaign bring in a lot of cash on his own so that we can keep, up in the ante here. Like, you give him 20, I'm going to give him 30. Okay, I think we can keep this guy on an incentive-laden deal. It's not a fully guaranteed contract, okay? Remember, this is the NFL. I can build in as much as incentives as I need to here. I think that's going to keep the carrot on the stick for the guy.
Okay, you need a strong third pick here, Harmon. This is your third and final pick. Who are you taking here?
I mean, this is tough. This is a tough one, but I am gonna go. I'm gonna go with a sleeper here. I'm gonna pick Tim Stark. Now,
that's not a sleeper. That's the best pick on the board. Good job.
Yes. See, here's the deal. Like, number one, when I first saw this guy in the documentary, I remember saying, wait, this guy's saying all the quiet parts out loud. Like
yes.
all the things that like Joe is kind of subtly saying, or you're thinking like, this guy's definitely bad because of this, that, and the other reason. Tim is just kind of saying it. So I like a guy that can tell it how it is, even if it's maybe you don't want him to say exactly what he's saying. But the most important thing here, you mentioned it, Terez, I need more of a physical specimen. And look, there's not a lot of those to pick from here. Certainly not picking Carol's husband, either the one that's actually still alive. Again, I don't want poison like Jeff Lowe on my team. But Tim was out there driving the machinery, lifting the heavyweights to try to build their fake park that's never coming to fruition. He's a hard worker and a physically gifted guy. I think he is the perfect pick here to be a little bit of that specimen.
Tim Stark, also very, very competitive.
Yes.
Fought with Jeff Lowe, fought with Joe Exotic. He is absolutely the Marcus Peters of Tiger King. There's going to be, he's going to tell you exactly how he sees it, but he's insanely competitive. He's probably going to end up being your counter to Travis Maldonado. Clutch pick, very clutch pick.
I think he might not have the same athletic ability. You're right, but he's going to get in people's heads.
Absolutely.
Plus he's got, he's got a monkey, and who doesn't want that?
If you get the monkey to ride the jet ski, that's going to sell tickets all day.
Boom.
Get the monkey to ride the jet ski.
Now, there's a few picks here Oz can make here that could lock it up for him. But if he misses on it, it's going to be a tough decision. Where are you going, Oz?
I'm in a spot where there's two guys.
Okay.
I sort of came into this with like four people that I would have been happy with, right? And I got two of them. The other two are still out there. And now I'm like, which one is it going to be? Do I go for chemistry, or do I go for the person who I think just plays with the most reckless abandon? So to me, it's between Eric Cowie, who I think it will get the job done, and it's between Alan Glover, who is a little bit of a wild card. But you know what, man? I'm going with Alan. Alan is dangerous. Alan, I see him as a safety or a running back. He's sort of Bill Romanowski of the Tiger King world, right?
Yep.
He might. Well, he will clash with Joe. He will definitely clash with Joe.
Sure.
They're
they hate
gonna have
each
to
other.
work that out. They're going to have to work that out. But I think just on like if I set this person again onto a football field, will he produce? Is there value in the pick? And I think I can make Alan Glover work. I think he may possibly have CTE already, so we got to check that off. That's good. But I think in a game where we're gonna need to be aggressive, right? We're gonna need to make things happen. I like Alan Glover and Travis in the same team, sort of again in the Bobby Boucher mode. Just kind of, hey guys, just go, just go and do it, and we'll make it happen.
One thing about Glover is that he's actually pretty obedient to who he's loyal to, right? So if Jeff Lowe was on this team, 100%, he'd be a physical guy and all that. But is he going to take direction from Joe Exotic? This could be like a real locker room issue.
I think he's going to need he's going to need bonuses. He's going to need to be paid well. We're going to need to give him every incentive that he wants. Like all of his needs will be taken care of, whichever needs they might be.
Well, it only takes $3,000. That's all.
hey, maybe that's good. But if he needs, a bucket of blue M&Ms, like we'll get you the blue M&Ms. Whatever it is, Alan, to make you happy. Because if we focus that energy in the right direction, I think we got something here.
This is so close. I want to give each of you guys an opportunity to sign an undrafted free agent.
Ooh.
First come, first serve here.
Give me Josh Dial, the campaign manager.
Okay. All right. So Harmon has Josh Dial, easily the smartest person on the show.
Yes.
Easily.
He seems like more of an offensive coordinator than anything else.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he might be able to draw something up.
Guy.
Oz, who do you pick?
I'm taking Eric Cowie. Is it Eric Cowie? Eric Cowie. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. Zookeeper looks like he's in a metal band. Like that guy. That's my guy right there.
That dude is savage.
Also, in a show where everyone is on drugs, he was the one who was obviously most on drugs the last time we saw him. Like, is he even making odds? Is he making it to training camp, my guy? I don't know.
we might have a little bit of a problem with the group that I have. The thing about Eric, what I liked about him though, was he just wanted to do the job, man.
That's
like
true.
He was really into taking care of the animals, getting things done. Like, again, point him in the right direction, be like, here's the thing that we need you to do. On this play, this is your job. I think he will do that. Every single play, this is your job. You do that. And he's a guy who, outside of the drug thing, I think did not show a tremendous amount of other character issues.
Yeah.
Like, he was a dedicated worker, seemed like he, in general, had a good heart, liked to be around the animals. I think he's a guy I want on my team.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm ready to rule here. I surged out to an early lead. Picking Travis Maldonado was strong. He's clearly the best athlete on the board. He clearly could absolutely dominate if he was completely dialed in. I am concerned, however, about how dialed in Travis will be. It depends on which stage we're getting. Are we getting early Travis or late stage Travis? I'm going to assume late stage. And I'm also going to say this. The Joe Exotic Alan Glover chemistry is toxic. It is one of the most toxic elements of the show. And I believe Matt's hire of Josh Dial, picking him off the scrap heap, I believe Josh's intelligence is going to help him formulate a plan to get his group together. There's some athletes there. Tim Stark is competitive. James Garrettson's not an athlete at all, but at least he'll be able to move somebody. And Finlay might end up being an athlete. No obvious character issues here, or no obvious character battles here. I think Matt's team is actually going to get along best and function the most as a team. I'm going with Harmon. At the end, he snuck in and took it. He has the better team.
I mean, let's go, baby. That's right. Team chemistry over everything. If that is one thing we know from football, the ultimate team sport that you've got to have, you got to have that. Okay. There's again, in a Tiger King adjusted world, I think we have the best team chemistry, the best individual character players. I mean, there were some other players out there that would have been a good fit. Ranky would have been great, but he doesn't have legs. That's not functional here. So I think character-wise, we went with the best picks here. And that is what we emphasize. We emphasize character. We emphasize hardworking players. And that's how you build a team, baby.
Now, Mike, I ruled against you, but I will give you credit. The team you put together is absolutely the most entertaining of the two. And had the criteria been which team will garner the most laughs and amusement, your team would have won with ease. How are you feeling about your chances to score the upset eventually, though?
Well, I think we're bringing chaos to the table, and chaos is fun. I have no problem with my guys going in as the underdog. Matt on paper is the favorite. That's fine. We'll roll into the stadium. The Oklahoma Jet Skis or whatever his team is. We'll go in there as the underdogs, and I like our chances. And as a fantasy draft here, I think is a big portion of this when you're drafting a team is a team you want to watch. As a fantasy owner, I'm going to be into watching this team all year long. I'm going to have fun. Maybe we're not going to win the whole thing, but you know what? We're going to be entertaining.
100%. This is a team you want to watch because, look, Alan Glover, very sketchy background. We don't know if he might fight Joe Exotic on the field.
What happens if Josh Dial just disappears before our game, Matt? What then?
Honestly, this is a show filled with literal lunatics. So I don't know, this is the best we can do here, okay? I think Josh Dial's going to be enough to get it done and keep the chemistry together, but who's to say, really?
Good team. Couple interesting characters still left on the board, I will say. Saf, the zookeeper who we already mentioned, incredible toughness, right? We know that Saf's not going to lead the game. Doc Antle, let's just say his ability to motivate people to do things they might not be crazy about doing could have had a factor on this game somehow, some way.
I felt like he'd have his eyes on the cheerleaders,
Yeah. And just from a pure entertainment perspective, Rick Kirkham, the TV producer for Joe's reality show. I want him doing play-by-play. I want him doing the color analysis because he is absolutely going to tell you the truth and do it in a very amusing way. So no matter what you get here, it'll be a fun time. It's been fun doing it with you guys. Hey, listen, this Boxed In thing's new and we're going to keep rolling. So it comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please subscribe. Please keep listening, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.